Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to talk about Magic Legends again, the new action MMORPG game. And this game is going to be different from a lot of other MMOs because the spells in this game is going to be a lot different what that you're normally used to in games like this. So just for quickly go through it, right now we know 3 out of 5 classes in the game right now. We have the Geomancer, we have the Mind Mage, and we have the Beast Caller. Each of them is going to have their own set of builds. Of course, you can see the Geomancer is probably going to have some kind of a, mainly fire builds. So fire decks like fire cards. And the Mind Mage is probably, water cards. And Beast Caller is probably going to be nature cards. In this game, you're going to have cards as your spells. So for example, you can see you have like a spell here called Tidal Wave or Giant Growth that increases the size and damage on your, monsters that you're summoning. And each of these cards, so now you probably already think, what action MMO cards? How is all this going together? Well, if we switch over to this scene here, you will be seeing that in the game, we can see right now we are on a user who's called Urza Ruja. He's playing a Geomancer and he's level 9. This is the build, this is the library of all the cards and where he's actually creating his decks. And you probably now are already thinking like, what are you talking about with decks? It's an MMO action RPG game. How can there be decks in this game? Well, the spells that you're throwing in this game is coming out randomly. So first of all, you will choose all your cards that you want to use in combat, and then you're going to have 4 active spells at the same time. And every time you use one of these 4 spells, it will then switch you out to one of the other. So it's like, like in Hearthstone where you're drawing, Magic. I mean, the game is coming from Magic, so why do I keep talking about Hearthstone? So if you go to the Magic, you're drawing a card every time and it has a random proc of which card you actually pick up. The same here, every time you use a spell, it's randomly which of the spells you have in your deck you're actually getting. So imagine you have World of Warcraft where you have like 20 spells in your hotbar. In this case here, you're going to have a lot of spells also, but it's going to be randomly which one you can use. So even if you want to use number 1 spell in the deck list here, you can only use one of them. And randomly which card is actually coming all the time. As we can see here, that the Geomancer has a lot of fire cards, but he's also combining with nature. Very interesting. So he gets like the summoning abilities from nature, and he's having some damage abilities from his fire spec. If we go to this other scene, we can see now we have another person here who's a Mind Mage, and he has a lot of waterish spells. I think it's like waterish spell. Yeah, it has water icons on them. So he has a lot of water spells, and he hasn't combined other. So he's just going 100% in on water spells and nothing else. Very interesting. So I like this where you can kind of build your own setup. So the spells in this game with this building decks and using cards and shuffle your spells and they randomly getting activated looks quite interesting. I mean, we also have other cards like this one here called Earth Elemental. That is a 2 fire spell, and you're having this mana when you play, and then you activate your spells, and you could activate summoning an Earth Elemental. I see the game has a lot of summoning spells, so you could basically be a guy who just summons a lot. The Beast Caller, you can pretty much hear in his name that he sounds like someone who's summoning. But we can see that the Geomancer also has a lot of fire spells that could summon. I could imagine the Beast Caller could have a nice fire and nature build where you summon both fire monsters and also nature monsters. Could be very interesting. But the game, as we have seen right now, it looks like the game you can play it on a keyboard, you can play it on a controller. It's very free. And again, so if you want to use one of your controllers here, like this Xbox controller here, or if you want to use your PlayStation controller, or if you want to use your Stadia controller, or if you want to use your Nintendo Switch controller, you can pretty much use probably whatever you want. I'm sure the game will have support for all the controllers. I mean, it is basically just controllers after all. So very interesting. So again, this game here keeps coming up on my Twitter feed, and I see all these new videos they're posting about spells and such things, and the game looks promising. I mean, but I still kind of want to see from them, why is it called an MMO? I mean, right now it looks like it's going to have a deck building combat. All the scenes that we see looks like it's missions. So it looks like you're kind of like starting missions, like in Diablo 3, where you start a mission and go on that mission. So I still kind of need to see, why is it an MMO? Why do you call it an MMO? Because, I mean, if it's just like a Diablo 3, then I don't see a reason for calling it MMO. But I'm sure they're going to show us why. But again, the combat system in this game looks very interesting. I like the random spells, and that you only are supposed to have 4 spells on your active hotbar and then use them wisely. So, very interesting. So thanks for watching, everyone. Leave that comment, let me know what you think, and well, let me know what you think about this card system and random spells popping up. Very interesting. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, peace out.